Sumner Accountability Cow, your snout for accountability and transparency in Sumner County, Kansas.
I have a hard time. I'm so sorry.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it is.
You can talk yourself through out of any of them.
Yes.
It's not like me.
Yeah.
We've been vetoed.
Who runs your house?
And this
She
is,
does.
I'm in charge of my house.
Yeah, now. Yeah. Now.
Oh, it's mine.
No, you are.
sometimes I think that his wife is just looking down on all of us for shaking his head. Jim,
Oh, yeah, she
Jim,
totally
Jim.
is.
I think that about my dad often too.
I can put it on Facebook.
She can get enough rope out there.
James Madison. I did get one response, and there's about 1,000 people on it.
Yeah.
They're really huge.
I mean, not that everybody can look at it, you know, but
I think it somebody kind of came out with him.
yeah.
It is? Oh, good.
Somebody that crossed party line 16.
That was the last thing I was doing when I plugged the computer. Look at that, but I didn't look to see if I could. Yeah, I kind of gave up. Then I don't know. There was somebody like just playing with it like I was. Yeah, well, I have after.
Keeps me on my toes.
Y'all can see it, yeah.
He's always wanting to learn something.
You see that one? I'll show Ben, so I'll show it off. Never said it to me.
I'm just glad his grandpa's feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not good.
I didn't see him.
Randy and Dad. Randy would call there once in a while, how's Dick doing? So last time I saw him, he wasn't very good.
It was a year ago.
Yes.
So the it's been 40 hours, but
Yes.
8,000 are part of that payment.
I didn't see it too.
Home clothes
I
and
saw it
dishes
on
in,
the
or?
No, we're taking
I
important
went
stuff
on the other
first.
one.
Books.
His right left foot.
But
Last thing I was starting to say.
I would-
today.
My answer is the bar.
That one didn't make the cut.
You don't have a good one? Or something?
We better go see
But,
Danny.
cooking up.
I know, she did.
Drive up there.
I used to have a good neighborhood.
I didn't.
You know Dean, you play on it. You know Dean.
Tracy, how are you?
Pretty good, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, how are you doing, Tracy?
He called me.
Say this.
Let my boy do that.
How's your kids, Tracy?
Oh, pretty good. Two of them are coming home.
Oh, good, tell them I said hi. Audrey, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, well, just
He left you first. Yeah. And I tried to.
yes, that's true. I know you.
Yes, sir. How are you?
What's going on, Trouble?
Howdy, howdy.
I'm asking.
How you doing? Doing all right, yourself?
Yeah.
Get there, like that. Boys, too. At least learning anyway. Encouragement. Appreciate what you do.
Okay, here's on my computer. I just turned on.
Don't worry. I got your signs.
Oh, is Robert bringing yours? Oh,
Oh,
because John's bringing mine. Actually, I'm
She'll have
trying to track it to see. And he.
What? Have you? And I'll need them again. Yeah. To the rescue. That didn't run across it. We closed the whole town.
Well, he's going to a meeting for church, so I was like, wow, you're on your way.
Some of those roads,
I quit road detailing.
the paved dump roads goes out and goes.
No, regular tires.
No, that's right.
No, you live the dumper sauce. I had
What's all that paper?
I remember
I was mainly for,
went out to the north. Yeah, I went out there and picked up.
Okay, let's go ahead and get this
My
going.
son, my son. Okay, welcome back, everybody, this evening. This is the second work session that the board scheduled to discuss the bond issue. And so Brett is back here this evening, and this week I sent you the data that was requested or gathered from last week when the board kind of finalized their talks. And so we're here to continue that discussion. Okay, Brett, what you have?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I didn't realize no school today. Miranda texted me, she's about 5 minutes late, so she'll be rolling in there any minute. I guess just kind of pick up where he's left off. I'll tell you that tonight, in order to meet the March date, you gotta have everything, it's got to decide tonight, so that on Monday, next Monday, then we get everything going through the paperwork, and then you have to have the final resolution voted on your meeting of the 8th. So tonight's really the last day that everybody's going to be able to get together and hash through this. So, I think where we left off last week was we was right around 16 million. And that is to do at Eisenhower, the HVC, the roof, the windows, and the parking lot. At Kennedy, do the HVC, roof, windows, and the parking lot. At Lincoln, the roof. Washington, the roof. Roosevelt, the roof and the windows. The middle school, the roof, windows, and the track. High school, the roof, HVC, asphalt repair. The district office, the windows, and then the remaining rooftop units throughout the district. So you add all that up together, it's right at 16 million. Questions, additions, subtractions?
So I'll start with my questions to Adam.
Yep.
So we're looking at a bond issue in June, correct? March, okay. March, if we vote to do that. What happens if we don't? Where we at money wise to take care of some of this stuff?
So we're,
Whether we vote to do it or whether it passes, one or the other. What's our plan B?
so you have, the board has 2.5 million in capital outlay. The district has 2.5 million capital outlay, so if this doesn't pass, then you're using that sparingly to make it, whatever happened, the board decides to happen.
Take care of stuff as it happens.
Take care of stuff as it happens. Obviously, I have never, since I've been superintendent, we've never recommended that go below $1 million. We have in the past done some really big projects that brought it down to $1 million, but we have never gone below that as far as keeping that emergency money in there.
So not talking about capital outlay.
I'm talking about capital.
Yes.
What is, how much is in the contingency? Just $1 million?
Contingency is $1.5 million, 1.5.
Okay. So did you say you never, in your time, you've never had to use capital outlay to dig into something?
No, we have never gone below $1 million left in cap outlay after doing the project.
I always get those two mixed up.
When we did the $1 million project at the high school and fixing all the masonry and doing that whole thing, that brought the district back down to $1 million. And since then, which has now been 8 years, 7 years, something like that, then now it's built back up to 2.5 with the projects that we've done and, over time. So, and keeping things rolling as it is.
So it's taken 7 years to put that $1.5 million back.
Yeah, and we've done some projects along the way.
Right, well, I know you're gonna do that anyway, but yeah, just to have access to build it back up.
Yes. And keep things running as is,
Right.
yes, that's
Right.
correct. That's where.
So it's not a quick reload.
No,
No.
that's not. Does that answer your question, Jason? Yeah. Okay.
That way, just, we're spending, what, vehicles? Do we buy the vehicles out of capital outlay?
Yes.
And so that's 120,000,
Yes.
and we've got things coming out of it already.
We bought that boiler last year when it went out,
Mhm.
and things like that. I think it's important to note that, we're levying the most that we can, which is 8 mills this year, and that's only generating 700. So 700,000 is what we're getting each year to put into that account. So it's only 2.5 because of saving. So anything catastrophic, it's not like we're getting enough per year to. I just don't know if that's as known and understood.
I got a question, I guess, let's see, we're at 16 million, and I think, Adam, thank you for sending this out, clarification. I did ask for a tour of the ag building Friday, and I did that, and I know that Jessica went through Adam, and I looked at the ag building, and it's in really sad shape, in my opinion. The corner is kind of, a cubby hole not even used, but it's wasted floor space. So if that was to be put back on in some manner, the full amount or 2/3 that amount, I understand a third of that would be just the mechanical stuff you would see according to.
That's correct.
Right. So the, for the $1 million in, what do you do with it, so the next 2 plus is to renovate it? Is there any place we can cut? I know I was looking at the parking lot at Kennedy. It's a big number, so that drew my attention. It was $1.2 million, I think.
Yeah, I went back,
$1.25 million.
I went back and we had budgeted, and our budget numbers, concrete parking lots. We went back, called 2 different asphalt companies since our last meeting. And you can asphalt them for half price. You can go back in and you can mill it, like 2 inches of overlay, and get it done for $12 a square foot. We have $30 a square foot budgeted. So that cuts it about in half. And the thing about it is, what they said is that it could be a little less than that, but they said you gotta be careful, because if they run their milling machine over there and it falls in, when they're milling that out, then you gotta start over, take it all the way down, and bring it back up. So if they can mill it off, put a 2-inch overlay on there, it's about $12 a square foot, worst case scenario. So you can cut your parking lots in about half.
Was the parking lot at Eisenhower cement too?
Pardon me?
All of them, I think.
Both parking lots.
They were both cement.
Yeah,
Okay.
all the parking lots we did, we figured going, except for the high school, we're gonna resell that asphalt. All the other parking lots, we budgeted was going back from
Because the
concrete.
parking lot at Eisenhower was only like 250, it was a lot smaller.
It's a lot smaller.
Right.
Yeah.
You're
So,
just talking about just that little bitty parking lot, right?
Yeah, it's
Right.
like 7, I can tell you exactly how many square feet it is. The parking lot at Eisenhower is 8,044 square feet. 8,044. The one at Kennedy is almost 42,000 square feet.
Because you're talking both of the parking lots and
And the drivers.
and the driveway. Yes, that's,
And at Eisenhower, you're just talking one.
that little bitty.
so just thinking out loud, if you had for example, the 16 million, and you add back the ag building, That put you like 19.6 or so, roughly. But then you'd have maybe, if you went asphalt at Kennedy only, that's about a little over half, be $700,000 savings. So you could keep it to 19 million maybe.
Yeah, I went back and I just did this on my own. I took deliveries myself. I went back and put the parking lots back to asphalt. And I added the middle school back in because I thought that was probably one of the last things that got cut out. So if you go back to the asphalt parking lots, you go back in with the remodel at the middle school, you're at $18,990,000.
And that's with project fees and contingencies?
Pardon me?
That's all in?
All in.
Okay.
And that was for the ag building, not the parking, right?
That's for that ag building, like we originally looked at, with using asphalt at the parking lots.
Gotcha.
And resealing the high school.
And would that come out? Would you say that number was?
18,990, just south of 19 million.
One thing I'd remind the board is when we had our discussion about Eisenhower, number one, we were talking about the street.
The city was gonna do that.
Yep.
Are you still?
One of the ideas, and the board decided to leave that alone because at the end of that conversation. But one thing the board talked about within that was possibly expanding that parking lot at Eisenhower to get some more cars off the street. So just to remind the board, I believe that what Brett has is just to redo the current parking. So I just want to remind you.
How long, what is the life expectancy of the asphalt overlay versus the concrete?
Okay, I talked to the asphalt guys. They said that you should get a good 10 years out of it. They also said that every 3 to 5 years, you need to just go back and reseal it. So let's say you reseal in 5 years, you should get 10 years plus if you take care of it. If you reseal it every 4 or 5 years.
And if we get the
Just
equipment,
remember, we're talking about putting a whole bunch more bus traffic on
right?
Kennedy.
And if we get the equipment, we can do the asphalt sealing ourselves.
Pardon me?
If we get the equipment, we can do our own asphalt
The
sealing.
reseal?
Mhm.
Yeah, the reseal, they said just reseal $2 or $3 a square foot. So,
Explain what you meant when you were saying if it falls in.
okay, they got the big equipment out there milling it,
Right.
and it's right now it's
Milling
stable.
it, that means
So
taking it off.
They're grinding it up, right? They're grinding it up, taking it off. Well, if the sub base is bad underneath the asphalt and the machine sinks in, that means the base is no good. So then you got to stop, tear it all out, and bring it up from the ground back up. Happens
What-
sometimes.
Yeah.
Huh?
What is there a base? I mean, or is it just?
Yeah.
dirt?
Yep.
No debate.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Yep, you got your base, then you got your
Which is
asphalt
what-
on top of
I mean, I'm
that.
just getting
It's,
less.
well, it's compaction, rock, compaction, then the asphalt sits on top of it. So that sub base, and the
That's all
sub
loosened
base,
up and it falls.
the sub base, they said sometimes happens, sometimes it doesn't. So it just depends on the conditions underneath the asphalt.
If you look on the highway, you'll see them when they're re-blacktopping, they're taking out a couple, an inch or so off of it, grinding,
Grinding it all up.
right, so it adhere, and then they're putting back on, so the same thing out there. When you did that calculation by chance, did you calculate what the impact would be on the, like the price, the increase on taxes, like $100,000 home?
Yeah, we did that, if you,
I mean, you had something at one time, you would.
yeah, we did that at 19 million, which is, that's kind of what we're talking
That's what
about.
you're talking about, yeah.
A $100,000 home would be, their monthly property tax would be $2.64.
That's 1955, right? A year.
Pardon me?
1955 a year?
Yeah, what would be the annual increase? Yeah.
The annual increase would be, for 19 million, the annual increase would be $31.63
On what price of home?
on a $100,000 home.
Compared to 1438 on 100,000?
Versus 16 million, is that what you're trying to get at?
No, I got this, you shot me this data here.
Yeah. At 16 million, annual property tax would be 1438 on a
Okay,
$100,000
so that
home.
number's good, so then
Yep.
that would go up to 31?
it would go up on 19 million on the same thing, it'd go up to 3163
Okay.
a month. I mean annual,
Year.
annual,
Annual.
annual, 30 bucks a month annual.
That's right, so you're talking, if you leave it like it is, it's 1438, if you go to 19 million, it's 3163.
Correct,
Full year expense.
correct,
So for $17, $18 difference,
a year.
we can provide an ag building for education for kids. That's to be proud of versus, I walk through and there's water
Yeah,
everywhere.
it's just a,
It's terrible.
Okay, my 2 cents is the 2 conversations we had at the last meeting were backwards from each other. We started talking about a bond and then we started talking about closing schools. I don't understand why we need to talk about a bond to do a bunch of renovation to schools that now we're talking about closing. Just does not make sense to me.
if you remember, I am gonna say this, because I said at the very beginning, and I know everybody's probably laughing at me, looking at me, but I said, why don't we figure out what we're gonna do at these schools first? Anybody remember that?
So that's where I'm.
Before we do
that's
a
where I'm
bond
leaning
issue,
into
because
that.
we might not use this for this or that. We don't know what we're gonna really do. And we were just told that they're still gonna need a roof or whatever.
That's why I asked my first question tonight, is what do we do if we decide not to move forward? Because to me, you guys have to decide what you're gonna do moving forward as far as the schools.
Well, Lincoln,
And-
the only thing in here for Lincoln, and you know, which the only school
Is roof. I know.
is roof,
All right.
right? Which has to be done anyway, I think is what I heard. That's correct.
It's the worst one in the
It's
district.
the worst one,
And
yeah.
the only building that we ever talked about, since I've been here, about closing or repurposing has been Washington.
We just talked last
This
meeting
just
about
came up as
Washington and.
a spur of the
That's what I'm
moment,
saying.
and I'm not
Too
even
many
sure it's
moving
feasible.
parts. Too many moving parts. We need to decide, sorry, you guys need to decide what we're gonna do as far as buildings. And then we need to decide on what we're gonna fund and what you're gonna spend the money on. So, I don't understand the rush to get to that election. Adam just said we have the money. I understand we don't wanna burn that down to zero. Please don't burn that down to zero. You never know what's gonna come out. But I don't understand the rush to get there. Just my 2 cents.
Okay.
I said that the very first time.
Okay, on those 2 buildings, I mean, if you, unless they're not needed, Washington has a roof for $218,000 and Lincoln has a roof for $485. That's the only 2 things being done there. But those things have to be done regardless.
Well, you have to do it to try selling them.
Maybe.
Even if you could sell them.
I mean, how long did we hold on to the old junior high and not do repairs to it before we finally sold it for next to nothing? And now it's still sitting there with repairs that need to be done to it. So, I don't know that it does any good to put the money into repairs if it's gonna sit there for 10 years as we're waiting on somebody to get tax credits to do something with it. So,
Without the bond passing, when will taxpayers see the relief of the bond fall off?
September, well, September is when the bonds fall off. I don't know.
so like I said from the get-go, I totally understand the school district doesn't want it. We don't get enough money from the state to function the way we need to function. I totally get that. I think we should have done this discussion earlier to get it pared down to a more usable number. But now, fortunately or unfortunately, other variables came into play with the discussion last meeting of possibly closing 2 schools. So I think those variables need to be vetted out before we move forward on next steps. And I just, again, I don't see the rush of jumping to the paying for a special election and jumping to the next possible time to put it on the ballot.
I guess my position would be, if you look at attendance centers, which I'll tell you that's what I'm in favor of, I think you can leverage your teachers and use your specialists and educate the children better. And it won't matter if one's at Eisenhower, one's at Kennedy, or where they're at, they're gonna get the same opportunity. If you do that, I think the 3 schools best serve that. And you want classrooms that are probably smaller, 20 or so, not 25 to 30, to really reach the children. So I don't know that, without a better study being done than what we did, I don't know if Lincoln can be closed. I don't know that it can't. But we most certainly know that Washington can be, or restructured, repurposed. We talked about repurposing, that have a use for some, maybe a year lag. So with that being said, I think going ahead with, you had 18.9 or so, and you included the ag building. The ag building really needs attention to it. And that's about education. We're not doing cellars down there to the football field at sports. It'd be nice to, but not mandatory. So, but if you went through the ag building and seen that, and the lack of really decent classrooms, I think everybody would be in agreement that that would be a good investment for the community, for our children.
We need to do something to the track.
For the track,
The track.
the
The
track
track's
itself.
still on there.
No, well, probably eventually, but I mean, this is the bathrooms.
Oh, that's being done.
That's on there.
That, I know, that's in
Yeah.
here, I know, yeah, I was just saying.
Yeah, that's in,
We're talking about-
that's in
Yeah,
there, right?
I know it's in there,
Yeah.
but I was just.
It's just cellars, it's not in there.
Yeah.
So that'd be my position as we take, I look at you did at 18.9, and go with that. I think come out and really try to, it's really good for education. It's agriculture, it's in the, that's gonna flow into the high school, that's gonna give some common education, support that.
Well, they'd be fixing, I mean, it's fixing more than just the ag part too. It's
Yes,
fixing so many other things that.
it needs, yeah. That'd be my position.
So again, we talked about classrooms aren't at the level we need them as far as students, because that's part of the whole plan of attrition, so that we can get our salaries up for our teachers. So we have all this space. Do we really need all that space? Or is there another space that they can move to within the middle school?
I asked that question and I was told there wasn't no additional space in the middle school at this point in time.
Bob said that he felt like they're already searching for space, for office space for some of the support staff, things like that. He said that when they are able to pare down, that space will probably be eaten up, and we really don't have. We're looking at spaces for industrial classes. Like currently, that's what that ag shop is. We don't have a place upstairs in the main school area for those classes. So my thought was going through it and having talked to them about that. That's still a part of the school. That's still the industrial arts area. We're still going to have it. We're still going to be conditioning it, using it in some. So I feel like we need to have it running as efficiently as possible.
It is in bad shape. There's a lot of kids enrolled in the ag program in high school and stuff. I mean, we just, every time there's somebody doing something. It's more than the old, when my kids went to
Right.
FFA, all that, it's so much more than
And other
that.
technical programs are adding too, right? And a lot of that's feeding into Cali County too, right? They take courses. So it kind of feeds into what Cali's doing too. What we're trying to do, make that space available.
I think to speak to what Jason's saying, I completely understand. And I think that this conversation should have happened 10 years ago, not just before this bond. I think it should happen well before we got to the point where the roofs were like this and the windows were like this. But we're kind of stuck in the position we are now. If we were to remove anything, I think we had a great conversation last week. I feel like Washington would be almost the safest bet. So if we're wanting to remove something, I would almost want to have a discussion about possibly removing Washington's roof from the bond. If we do decide to repurpose it, reuse it, maybe because we've taken care of the HVAC and stuff like that, we're going to have savings in our annual cap outlay that we could possibly do that if needed down the road. That's where I would start. That's where I would start. I guess I'd like to have that discussion.
Have we taken off the part that's gravel? Have we?
Yes.
We've decided not to do that, right?
At the middle school.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we're doing this because of staff, being overstaffed. I get that. Okay, you close Washington, 6 teachers lose their job. If you move students from Lincoln and run the population of Washington up to 24, 25, the rest of Lincoln fits into Eisenhower and Kennedy in just fine shape, and you get 12 staff reductions. You get twice as much.
So
I don't know.
take Lincoln and split amongst the 3 elementaries.
Yeah.
Do
Keep
3
Washington.
elementaries. Keep Washington.
And keep Washington.
I think that's where we say again, we need the data. So then the question is, do you want to do this now or do you want to do it later?
You know, on the original bond workup that was, you know, that was cut from like 26 to 22, 6, whatever. You know, before my time, I'm looking here, you had $1,100,000 for Washington to be repurposed. That didn't include the roof, I guess, is there fluff in that number to help cover the roof?
Is that what we were talking
That
about?
was removed to get down to 22.6.
Yes, I know.
And we didn't know if that was.
Is that, is part of that number of preschool, when you're thinking preschool, no?
Yeah, that was.
Part of that number is making it a preschool, being that.
Well, I'm just saying that we're not gonna spend that now, but if you come back and do that, you have to add the roof to that, so now you're looking at if that number is right, you're looking at $1,320,000 at some point in time, not now.
Yep.
Can you do that without a bond, I guess, out of the capital fund at that point in time? Because you don't wanna go back for another bond.
We can do anything the board wants to do with the $2.5 million. It's just that none of the other things get done that
That
are on the
gets it
list.
down to one
Special,
layer real quick
understand.
with no roof.
And what
What
is,
are we looking at? We've already learned a lesson about roofs. What are we looking at if you wait 6 months to a year price wise?
You're asking me?
Mm-hmm.
If you wait 6 months to your prices are gonna go up, just telling you. Since we started this, we kept everything kinda in check, except the roofing numbers have gone up since we started this back in almost 2 years ago, it'll be 2 years ago in February. It's gonna cost you more. The other thing that I think is you got the momentum of having this at the forefront of everybody's mind in the district. I think that if you keep this exact same scope of work, you're gonna pay more. Definitely, you're gonna pay more. It's not gonna get cheaper. And just, in my opinion, you're kicking the can down the road. And we've seen that. We passed a bond issue at Oakley, and it started out 15 years ago at $7 million. Today it's $28 million. So that's what you're looking at.
Do you know what, well, they had a bond issue and it didn't pass. And then they just recently, I think the same time we did, had a bond issue and it did pass, which I admit all along to figure out what they did to cut it. Obviously, they cut it down.
Oakley?
No, Mulvane, just right up the
Oh,
road.
Mulvane? Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that they trimmed it down a little bit. I don't know the
I know, I
details,
meant to
Pat,
check that.
but they trimmed it down and they went and it passed this time. And the same thing with I think with Arc City. I think this is the first time they got theirs passed. So
Did we ever, I think I asked this question, put like on the website a video clip that people, went around and took pictures, just a video of everything like the little theater, the ag shop. We did do that.
Yeah, we had videos of, we come and did 2 or 3
I
videos.
thought we did, I just never checked them out.
That's too bad, because they were really well done. So you should see them.
Are they still there? I have a hard time finding anything on our website, to be honest.
I'm with you, Pat.
God, I've been told 100 times, this skin dad is getting me replied. I don't, anyway, that's another subject. Our website's terrible.
So there's not a general consensus at all then which way we
I
should
agree.
go?
I do agree with you on it. I mean, if we're gonna take something out, we can take the Washington roof out, but that's the cheapest one. We still have to maintain our buildings. We own them, and if we don't maintain them,
Is the Washington roof any trouble with it right now? Like Lincoln, we know is really Lincoln. Is Washington pretty solid? It's just time for it?
Lincoln's been a problem for years and years, and as long as I can remember, and that's.
Lincoln's the one that needs the most attention the soonest.
Right, but
I'll
what
tell
about
you that.
Washington? If we do
Washington, there's still some life in it. I mean,
Okay. So we could take that off without,
I mean, that could be paid out of capital.
Yeah,
That's
that could be
the
out of-
cheapest one.
okay.
218,000. That's not the end of the world.
200 grand, you're down to 18.7.
18.7, so you're
Yeah.
down.
If you do the asphalt and put the,
And we picked up the parking lot at the middle school. That was gravel.
Yeah.
You said
No.
you, right?
No, we're taking it off.
Oh, I thought you had that in that figure that you
No,
gave
no,
me.
no.
Well, what did you picked up, went ahead and did?
the only
Ag
parking lot?
shop.
At the ag shop, he
Add
cut
the
the
ag shop
concrete
back.
to.
Oh, yeah, I know that,
Yeah.
but I thought you added a parking,
the only parking lots that we have in it right now at the 18,990 number
Yeah.
are the two at the 2 elementary
Okay.
schools.
okay,
We're making those asphalt.
right.
And we're
Okay.
resealing,
I misunderstood, I thought, I misunderstood on
we're
the.
resealing the high school.
So you're almost cutting $3 million from the last bond issue,
Yeah.
close to it.
If you get- if
And
you-
we're getting the ag building which should be, and we'll have to wait and decide about
If you
Washington.
take the Washington roof out of there, you're gonna be about 18.7, which is about 4 million less than what it
About
was.
4 million, that's right.
Because it was 22.6 before, and you'll be around 18.7.
Okay, 22, I was thinking 21, yeah, 22.6.
And the current bond issue is tentatively falling off. 14. How much was it? Now it's 20 something. The one that we're paying on right now? Yeah. That's coming off. Then why would the taxes go up if we're going to a lesser bond issue? That doesn't make any sense.
Better rates back then. That was my understanding.
That's right. That's what I remember seeing earlier, Jason. I just.
What was it? I didn't hear Jessica.
I understood it as better rates, but I don't know. That was my
Better rates then or
understanding.
better rates?
Yeah.
Better rates then.
That's probably true.
That's true, yeah.
So that's almost $4 million, and we're getting all the key pieces for education. And we're kicking Washington down the road so we can decide what we're gonna do. I like that scenario.
I do too. I just worry that, we're gonna get one more shot at this. And if it fails again, I don't know that we can,
I don't think we can do it again.
I don't think we can do it again. And I just wanna make sure we're getting everything that we need and everything that the community wants. And making, smart decisions.
What do you have a couple points of interest you can elaborate on?
I don't know that a decrease from 22 million to 18 million,
I don't think that's enough.
I don't think it's enough. I don't think it'll back. I don't know.
So let's look and see if there's something else we could cut.
Let's talk about Roosevelt.
Let's sell Roosevelt.
It's our rental unit.
Let's sell it.
then will we end up paying more because we're leasing it to someone who we are using we're using their services. So will it cost us more in paying for the services than what we're getting back in the lease? That's my concern there, is that
I have no idea, I have no idea. I mean, I just don't know.
it sounds good on paper, but will it hurt us in the end? And would the interlocal even be interested in purchasing
Roosevelt's
it?
always bothered me.
Or are we
I
gonna?
never did understand why the school district wanted to be in the real estate business. We did a bond issue and we did a lot of work on that building and then we immediately turned around and leased it. I just never did understand that. It's worked out for us. They obviously provide a service for us. It's great what they do for us. Not discounting that at all. It just never made sense that we were in the real estate business.
Let me ask you guys this question. If you take the Washington roof off, and you kick it down the road, you pay that out of capital outlay the next 5 years, whatever. You could do the same thing with the rest of those rooftop units. I mean, that's 600 grand that they're still working. When they finally are done, that you could replace them 1 or 2 or 3 at a time instead of 26 at a time.
I think that's a great idea.
That's what I thought about
That's what?
myself, why
I
did I
think
do it all
that's
at
a
once?
great idea. That's what
How
I
much are
mentioned
they
last meeting.
each?
Why are HVACs in a bond issue?
That's 630,000. I get the chillers because that's a big expense. You could take that 630 and you could take the Washington roof at 220. That's 850. You take 850 off of that, then you're almost below 18 million.
They're 26 units.
I had never done that.
24,000 a unit.
Does that make sense?
$25,000 a unit to replace those,
Probably.
and they're at each building?
They're scattered out the district. Yeah, I'd have to ask Kelly Adams exactly where
We
they're.
know that, what is it, Ike and Kennedy, we know those are the ones that we're having real problems with, right?
We got replacing those in the schools. Replacing the Eisenhower and Kennedy, that whole HVAC system is shot.
Right.
And that we have replacing those, I'm just talking about the very last line item where it says other projects at the bottom.
Okay.
Right,
That's
I'm just
not-
saying, the ones that we can't, okay,
Okay.
or
You have that pulled
shouldn't,
up, Miranda?
we can do whatever.
What?
The spreadsheet pulled up.
I got it.
Can you pull it up?
Deader than a doornail.
Huh?
I said this thing's deader than a doornail. I could have. That's the intent of bringing it.
I got it, it's 15,150.
How much?
Oh, wait, I didn't put the, how much was the, ag shop?
$3,580,750.
$18,731. That didn't change the architect fees though, did it?
Well, usually, if you're taking away the 631,000, right, basically,
630,500. Take it off.
and take off the 219,
218,750. Take that off. Subtract that off the 18,990.
What if we speak out loud here and we eliminate Roosevelt also doing their stuff?
Eliminate anything
Doing
to
your
Roosevelt.
repairs on at Roosevelt. I mean, you're only looking at the roof of 293 and the windows of
That's
327.
another 600,000.
But aren't those windows original to the building? They're like 50, are we losing energy efficiency that we could be saving in?
Do we pay the utilities?
Do we pay the utilities?
Yes. We own the building.
Yeah, I know we do, I don't know. Sometimes we read something.
Yeah, well, there's stuff built into the contract with them that they pay.
okay, that being asked, if you had to pick between the roof and the windows, is the roof got some life in it? Or the windows, or is there anything urgent there, I guess is what I'm
At
asking?
Roosevelt?
Yeah,
The roofs. We've had a new roof on that.
No, I mean, it's working now.
When I looked up on NewsCow, I tried to look up roofs, and there was a quote from Weiss, I believe, that they were working on in that 2014 bond they were doing roof work. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but they at
I
least
think it was
patched it in that. Or they did some kind of, so that one was definitely touched.
Probably not replaced, but, yeah.
Because if you do those forward, that's a pretty big chunk coming off.
And how much, I mean, you can do that in capital outlay a little bit, but you're gonna have to do it over years and build it up to keep it above $1 million threshold.
I always have, I'm just, the contingency and the capital outlay. We can't go below 2.5, or, we don't wanna go below this million. But then the contingency, we don't wanna go below this million. So we're just holding on to this that we should have been using to fix something.
Well, but if
The
something.
contingency is for salaries
Yeah, the contingencies for salaries.
and bills. The capital outlay is for these projects.
But I mean, it doesn't have to be salaries. I mean,
Yeah, I think,
in a major emergency, you can use contingency.
That's why
That's
the
what it says.
state,
Salaries.
that's why the state asked us to have that in there.
But when you look at what you can use the contingency for, you can use it for more than salaries.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You can use it for whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. That's just recommended.
I get that. I
yeah,
just,
it's earmarked for salaries, that part is.
And same, Pat, you can go below $1 million in capital outlay if you choose to. You just put yourself in the situation where you have less than $1 million.
it was good to have it when we needed it for high school. Right?
And
High school
if you do those four things, you're
High
at
school masonry.
I know.
if you knock out those four items that we talked about, you're at 1.4.
1.4 off of that 8.9, basically, so 17.5 roughly.
I took out the Washington roof and those rooftop units. I'm at 18,140,000. What else would you like to take out?
Roosevelt, they said.
The whole Roosevelt,
Yeah, let's just see where it comes in at.
okay? $17,500 and some change. 17,500.
So if you do that, I'm just going that, if you do that, you got like a potential at Washington down the road, especially if you repurpose it like $1,318,000 from current dollars. You got 620 at Roosevelt combined. And then the other thing, you got 630 on the HVAC units. So that's, say, 1,250,000. You got about 2,600,000 right there to come out of the capital outlay fund, right? And we got 1,500,000 you could say we're comfortable with.
Our recommendation would be to keep at least $1 million in there. But
Right, so, and it looks like you're putting back on a good year, 250,000 or so a year.
Not
yeah,
that much.
after things are paid, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, the way it increased over 7 years. So it'll take you 5 years if nothing major happened, to drop you below you get the money for that, offset with inflation. And we said at one time the theater seats of almost $70,000 we can take out of there too.
I feel like we just keep unloading more and more on the capital outlay.
That's what I'm trying to
And that's
figure
what I
out.
worry.
That's what I'm worried
I
about,
don't
how
think the
much.
theater seat, that could be used. I mean,
The theater seat was only, what,
Yeah,
70,000?
Yeah.
70,000.
Yeah, it wasn't very much.
No,
We could be having these meetings there when we have a larger
Yeah.
crowd. I mean,
I'm just having these up to stack them up to see what we can really take out of our quote operating budget, so to speak, versus,
but we wouldn't do it all at once.
well, you couldn't. And
Well, that's what
it would have
we wouldn't.
to
and you
that's what
probably,
we're
you
saying.
probably couldn't do it all in 5 years. I mean, if you, maybe, if you're lucky.
Plus anything else that pops up.
maybe like the high school would set you back. That's one thing I'm saying is just be careful what we do. In the perfect world, that would work, I guess.
I will tell you that in this, we have $600,000 worth of contingency. If we don't run anything crazy, that's gonna be left over. So, you could come back and do some of this other stuff you're cutting out if we don't run anything crazy.
I mean,
Don't be
I
a
know.
bonus.
Yeah, it'd be, yeah, I
That'd be a
would count on it,
bonus.
but maybe. So we're looking at,
But I gotta ask, how does that work? If we advertise the bond, that we're taking care of A, B, and C, then we have contingency money left over and we decide to take care of D or G, how is that being transparent to the vote?
It's all how the bond language is. Like, right now, Clayton sent me the bond language and it listed all the schools. So for example, if you said, okay, you're not gonna do anything at Roosevelt, then you can't go back and do anything at Roosevelt. But if you wanted to go back and do some HVAC at Lincoln, or I'm just making this stuff up.
Right,
Then
I get
you
it.
could. But if you take in the bond language and you say, no work at Washington and no work at Roosevelt, then you can't do any work at those schools.
Okay. But I mean, like Jim mentioned, you know, we're kind of crafting this as, you know, we're putting the bond money towards the students, towards the classrooms, taking away from Sellers Park, the improvements there. Well, then if we have extra money and the board decides they want to put it towards Sellers Park, that's kind of a little bit of a shell game there, right?
unless you word it that way.
Well, yeah, but Sellers Park would have to be in the bond,
In the bond
but we're
language.
talking about taking that out.
Right.
It's all how you craft the bond language. Yeah, if you put in there at other buildings that the district has, I don't know, Clayton does all that legal deal stuff. But
Sure.
it's how that is written. For example, I think it's written that, you know, the building in Eisenhower, which includes this, and this. So you get an Eisenhower and you find out it's got termites. Well, then you can, even though termites not exactly listed in there, you can use this contingency to fix the termites. That makes sense?
Yes.
I think that's part of the problem with the 2014 bond, was it said repair or replacement of roofs, and I don't think that it was, there's no one here now that can remember what exactly was done. So now there is this question, because we're reading it as repair or replace, and there's part of me that wonders if it wasn't stuck in there, so that as we're fixing rooftop units, things like that, that work could be done. The question is, was it done enough?
That's a good point.
I think it was.
If we ask you.
I was gonna ask you, because you would have been the most, you would have been fresh to the board when
I remember
it
we
was.
did rooftop units at Roosevelt, and I would assume that they took care of the roof.
Can we ask you to give us quarterly updates on what we're spending, the over or under, what was done on
We
work
have
scope?
to approve that.
You could do it on a piece of paper, don't have to be here. We can
No,
report.
you'll get a monthly at the board meeting. You'll have a monthly update where we're at to the penny.
Penny, and what, in the work scope,
Mhm.
what was done, and what we thought we was gonna do, but we ended up doing
Absolutely.
more or less.
Yep.
Because we need to be transparent.
We'll get the design done, we'll bid it out, we're gonna say, okay, it's gonna be, we had budgeted, I'm just gonna pick on, we had budgeted $929,000 for the HVAC.
Okay, sure.
We get the design, we bid it out, and it comes at $850. That's what the contract's for, and then we're gonna slide over $159,000 over into the positive category. And so you'll get an update every time we bid a project out, where it's at, what's going on with it.
Do we also get a timeline when you're bidding those about contracts being let? and what to be done?
Absolutely,
So we know if it's on schedule or not.
absolutely.
And then nothing says that just because this is the order it is listed on the bond, this is the order we will complete the projects in.
That has nothing to do.
Okay.
Well, that all gets done, will be determined by we get the design done, then we're gonna come to you guys, say, okay, if this bond passes, we're gonna sit down, and I'm gonna suggest to you that the first thing we do would be the roofs and the mechanicals at those two schools, because that's stuff you knock off pretty quick, and hopefully get it up for school starts. The remodel at the ag shop and the curtain wall windows, all that, it's gonna be design time, then we gotta coordinate with that with you guys. So we can do it in any order you want, but my anticipation would knock off the stuff that has the less design in it, so we can get that bid out, turn it around, and get started on the way.
We could sell the tennis courts at Eisenhower. I'm just trying to find some money. We don't use them.
Would the city even want?
What?
So would the city even want them?
I don't, I'm just, throwing it out there.
So we're down to 17.5 to 18.9 kind of, right? We got that 18.9 we thought was,
Do you know roughly what 17.5 would be on the tax a year?
One of your examples from last meeting that Clayton gave you was 17, not 17.5, but
17 was 1955 a year,
$19.55 a year.
or 163 a month. So slightly over that.
On 17 million annually is 1955 a year.
$20.
Huh?
So $20.
$20 a year.
$100,000.
For 17 million. Now 75 is gonna be a tick up.
Right.
But 17 million is gonna get you $19.55.
$25 a year, but more than that.
And 19 million is at $30, $31. And I had him do one for 16 million, and that's
$14.38.
$14.
It's pretty cheap.
Based on negative about schools.
So if you take that 18.9, is that what we came up with kinda? And let's say we're gonna defer on Washington to you, that's only 218,000, but that would knock it, I think we all would agree on that maybe? That'd knock it down to 18.7 or a little less. We kick that down the road.
Right.
Roosevelt's roof, 293.
What?
Take it out.
Roosevelt's roof for 293, take that out.
And do the windows? Do you want or the other?
Which one's 218 or 327?
Windows are
windows is
320.
327.
Yeah, they're pretty close. What's more important, the windows or
Maybe 619 was the buy.
Just in a quick Google search of the last bond, I think we removed the roof, and we keep the windows.
Okay, so there was some work done. Okay, so there's another almost 300,000 off. So that's about $500,000. So now you're down to 18.4.
And then you take the 630, 500 of the HVAC out.
I really think you ought to, I agree with Jason that HVAC is going to be the first ones I take off, those rooftop units. Just for the fact you can place them when they finally conk out. You can place 2 or 3 at a time and not 26 at a time.
So that's 8, okay, that makes, so 18.4, and that's 630. Say we'll call it 18.4, so we're looking at 17.8.
Yeah. What I did is I took off Washington roof, I took out all of Roosevelt, and I took out those rooftop units, 17,519, 17 and a half. That's not doing anything at Roosevelt.
Roosevelt, we said put the windows in.
You want to put the windows back in?
Yeah. But the roof, we think,
I mean, am I correct in, that's what I was told was those were still, or that's what I feel like I remember hearing was that those were still original windows. So I can't imagine that they're from the 50s, right?
Yeah,
I
the only time they
feel
might have
like-
replaced them, if they ever were, would have been when it was used for
Broken.
the 6th grade. You know, at some point then. But
I would like to know that. I will admit I've never been, no, I've been in the gym of Roosevelt. but I wasn't looking at the windows.
I went to kindergarten through sixth grade
What
there.
what is it?
It was a great
Center
school.
Set storefront. Is that all the windows or just like the entrance windows?
That's
Roosevelt?
all.
My guess is it would be like you did at Lincoln, which is all of the windows, except for potentially,
Was my
yeah, no, because the safe room wouldn't have it.
Safe room, yeah.
Right. So yeah, it would be all.
If you had the windows back in, you're at 17,847, 17,850.
Okay, I said 17.8. Okay, close.
That building and Lincoln are the same age.
So that, okay, so Washington's
There's
going
that
out.
big wall of windows in the gym. It's like floor to ceiling. I think that's what we're doing. Pretty sure.
Interesting, that style. Yeah, so why I was thinking if they were.
So you still like 2.2 and 2.3 potentially to come out of the cap fund at what time? If you got $1.5 million, you could say, now potentially. So. But it doesn't address anything at South Park. I don't know what you had in mind for down there, or anything, or the back rooms, or, you know, get used, how many times, about a year?
4 or 5.
I don't think you can do that though. Say it's only used X, and I'm not saying we're gonna fix them, I'm not saying that at all, but I mean, just say it's only used 5 times a year. I mean,
You had,
but it's a big deal, you know, it's just like the friend your school, you know.
Right.
It's funny because, I mean, I heard a lot about it, and Tracy will tell you, he's even told me he's heard a lot about the bathrooms, why were they $900,000? And now what I'm hearing after our last conversation is
You need to do something about them.
you need to do something with the bathrooms, just not $900,000 worth. So it's kind of funny how it
Yeah, oh, I know.
shifted. So, I see that.
I still think we kick that can down the road because there's no education. I like to have it, but if you don't think the bonding issue will go. And now you're at 17.8, you said, so you're.
17,800, yeah.
I would rather have, I would
about
rather
almost
have
$5
the
million
ag shop
below.
in
I would-
something that we can
Me too.
better, put to better use.
That's $5 million. I mean, I don't know how you can go below that without hurting the
Something else.
district. And you're doing some gambling, but I think it's,
The thing is, you start skipping these roofs and they're leaking in, and then you're gonna have problems down the road with mold and everything else, and then you're gonna have a bigger issue on your hands.
That's
what
my
people- that's what
concern
people
when we
don't
open up,
understand.
having seen their leaking,
Mm-hmm.
I worry
We're in a mold issue.
about if we're gonna have a mold issue when we, because it. But that's where we
I'm good with the
have to-
17,847 where we're at.
17,847. I'm gonna go back. If you guys want to do whatever you decide, I'm gonna go back in the morning, run through this, make sure I'm exactly right. So,
yes,
Do it.
I agree.
yeah.
And that's just Jim and I speaking, so I don't know
Yeah.
who else wants to
Yeah,
get 2
no,
cents in.
I don't go with it.
So with that number, off that,
Over it again.
we're gonna turn the parking lots, the 2 parking lots into asphalt. Then we're gonna take out the Washington roof. We're gonna take out the Roosevelt roof, but leave the windows. And then we're gonna take off the HVAC rooftop units at the very bottom.
Yeah.
And I think that gets you down to 17,850.
And add the ag shop.
And what?
Add the ag shop.
Yeah, it was
ag
added,
shop. Say that.
it was added already.
Oh, I didn't hear him
Add
say
what?
when
The ag shop.
Yeah, it's
It's in
in
there.
there. Yep, ag shop's in there. Yep.
You're looking at 20 something a year, and
The last comment I'm gonna make to you guys is, if you want to do this in March, tonight's the night, that's all I'm saying.
well, if you get that back to Adam, then get us supposed to reply to Adam.
I'll have it to Adam first thing morning,
Okay.
but again, you guys are on Thanksgiving break.
Right.
Are you on Thanksgiving break? Or you work all
I'm
the
sitting
time?
right here, right now.
I
how much of a break we're on.
That's what Russ said. He said, my day off, look. I'll have this redone. I'll have this redone, so you guys know the process. I'll redo this spreadsheet, I'll send it to Adam. And, then I have to get this into Clayton's hands. Because he's gonna have to redo the bond language, redo this, and have everything ready on December 2nd. And he's gonna send that package to you guys, so that you can put it in the board packet and vote on it.
More
snow days.
Anyone else have any questions?
What was the ag shop? I'm just making sure that I have this straight for what I'm typing in, for myself.
Okay, you wanna go through the whole, let's go through the whole list.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
so everybody's on the same
Sorry.
page. So at the top, we're gonna do the Eisenhower, the HVAC, the roof, the windows, and the parking lot asphalt.
And what did you get that number in at?
The asphalt parking lot
Yeah,
is at, now you can make purple glasses.
sorry.
That's okay. 96,528. Okay, then you go down to Kennedy, you're gonna do the HVAC, the roof, the windows, and the parking lot. Again, it's asphalt. That's 499,668. Then we do, the Lincoln roof stays the same. We're deleting the Washington roof. No Washington roof. We're deleting the Roosevelt roof. We're leaving the windows at Roosevelt. The middle school, we got the roof, the windows, the ag shop, the track. The high school,
Oh, what was the ag shop number?
the ag shop number was 3580750.
Okay,
The track at the high school, it's the roof, the chillers, the asphalt. And at the, again, I want to be crystal clear, at the asphalt, we're just resealing it, filling in the cracks. And then the district office, the windows, and that's it. And according to my phone, it's 17,847. So I'll make sure that that's right.
is the contingency 5%?
Yeah, the contingency, what I did with that is I kind of play with that because when you go out to the bond election, they like to
Round numbers.
round numbers.
Okay.
So that's how I squeeze that contingency or I add a little bit to it to make it come up to the round number. And I'll have all that exact.
Is that seats at Roosevelt? I mean,
For example,
No,
no seats at the middle school?
because it's 70,000, we'll just pay it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
for example, if it came out to 17,847, I'm gonna tell you 17,850.
Yep.
Okay, anything else? Okay, thank you.
Okay, Adam, I'll need to hear back from you so they can, so Clayton can get all that done.
Yep.
I'll call Clayton in on the email as well.
Sounds good.
Jason,
Good?
the roof on Roosevelt, that was in 14, so that was my last year on. That was when they built the tornado room and a partial on the rest of the building. They didn't do a whole new.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
What's up on the roof?
That's what I was,
yeah, that was a partial.
So it should be good for.
It's a little dusty in there, but I finally found it.
But, I mean, since we're listing Roosevelt, if we end up by some miracle with 300,000, we could do the roof, right?
Yeah, for the windows there, yeah, it's listed, yeah. We just couldn't do anything with Washington right now, it's clear out.
Yeah.
Unless you said something about the contingency fund, or anything, any fund left over could be used at the discretion of the board within
I'll
the
make sure
district or something.
I'll make sure Clayton has that bond language figured out and I'll send that to Adam for his review.
But, okay.
Because you just don't want to paint yourself in a corner,
No.
so that you have that flexibility to use it if you want to, or you pay it back on the bonds if you want to.
You guys feel like you need to get back together, or is everybody good?
We're good. I'll speak for myself.
I'm good. As long as there's no surprises in
I'm okay.
going through that.
Yeah. As long as my,
Contingent upon that,
yeah,
okay?
yeah, I'll have that, they'll be in your inbox, they're sending you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Brett.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Thanks, Brad. Drive safe, Scott.
See you, buddy. Talk to you later.
I mean, the other things we could be doing, see, that's just.
When will you be able to do it?
Oh, thank you.
That's what I was gonna do, was to share it out. Thank you.
The monthly.
We can't have very long send anything out to everybody.
With what we're doing.
He's the point of contact.
And here,
Everything
you
else.
know, on the
Trying to get through the point where there's all no traffic. Kind of rough
Oh, my email?
Your email,
Okay.
so I will get that. Now, I will just let you know, like when we do a live meeting, when we do that,
Yeah.
I don't have the link for that until like pretty much right before the meeting.
Okay.
But
That's fine.
if you want, I can send that to you afterwards, or you can always find that on our web. It'll be on the front page of our website.
Gotcha.
If you want to, if you're at home and you
Gotcha. I
want to watch
felt,
it live.
the concept of live streaming, I would like it in advance. So
Yeah. So because like I say, I mean, I don't get that link until about 5 minutes before we start the meeting. So
Yeah.
but I can,
Okay.
I can certainly, but I do put it on our website on the
Yeah.
front page every time that we're live
Gotcha.
streaming. So
Yeah.
you can grab it there if you need to, or I can try to slip it to you.
Yeah.
Right before the meeting. If
Yeah,
you
because if it's live streaming, that's the point, is to be live. So yeah, I'd like it in advance.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. So, okay.
All right. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
You bet. Thank you.
How you doing?
Evening, sir.